Mhm.
Okay, looks like we are live on my end. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna just quickly share out. Um, okay, hello, everyone. Welcome. Hello, everyone. Hold on. Oh, that's so interesting. My volume is not working.
On your phone.
Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna close it, but that is very interesting. It's not working. You know how there's the volume on the side where you can click on and
Yeah.
off? I did both and it's still on. But that's very interesting. But technology always do funny things with me, so very normal. And welcome everyone to another episode of Light Language Journey Within. And today I am so super excited to be able to introduce all of you to the creator and the brain and the dot connector and the facilitator of the divine sorry, hold on. I just have to admit somebody in. To the
There she is.
divine feminine circle membership and the mystery school. So welcome, Jen and Dina and Rochelle and Rhea. And unfortunately, Crystal cannot join us today. And I am also one of the facilitators as well. So what we're going to do is, like, if you have ever maybe wanted to or hoping that you're able to join a sacred group full of women, ladies, and you're able to hoping that you can share your personal growth and spiritual growth, and as well as receive the support as well with like-minded people, then this group is most likely definitely for you. And if you have come across this group, our group, and you've been wondering, I'm not really sure. I want to know more. Like, who are the facilitators? I don't really know. So this actually episode is perfect for you because not only will you meet the creator and, as I said, the connector behind this group, you will also be able to tap into the facilitators and see if we actually connect with you. Then you can go ahead and decide if you would like to, the basic investment, which Jen will talk about later on. We have 3 tiers and it's really just starting off $444, which is really, really, really affordable per month. But anyways, we're going to talk about that later. But first off, what we're going to do is Jen and Dina, they will basically give us the details with regards to who is the creator, who's the connector, who is the brains behind all of this. And then they will basically introduce themselves to us as well and let us know how did they come across light language? When did they actually first come across light language? Like all of us will let you guys know, because it just so happens that all of us do obviously speak light language as well, transmit light language. So we will, they will let us know when is the first time that they actually came across light language, and what it is that they do now, and what kind of services that they offer. And Jen and Dina will, of course, let us know more in depth with regards to the actual membership. And then Rochelle will introduce herself, and then Araya, and then me. Okay, so Jen and Dina. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Thank you for inviting all of us here. It's been such a really wild ride with light language, soul and light language. So I guess I'll answer that first. I've heard of it a couple of years ago, but it didn't really ring a bell until my friend Tabitha, who owns a couple of holistic businesses here in Roanoke, Virginia, she came to like what we call like a mini expo, holistic expo. And we just started talking and she's like, you've got a little like balancing that needs to do in your throat chakra. I'm like, okay, like I trusted her. I still trust her. And so she's like, do you mind if I use my soul and light language? I'm like, sure, why not? And so when she did that, and I'm a healer myself, so I could feel, I could see things, I have knowings. And so when she did that, my whole body, not just my throat chakra, my whole body started, I felt like it was like a tick, 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 like the whatever she was doing. And I thought, wow, that was amazing. And so I was a big believer in that. And also it felt like memories are coming back, right? Because this whole awakening journey, it's about remembering who we are as soul beings living a human experience. And so because of her and because of Dina, they hosted a in-person retreat here in Virginia, and Dina traveled all the way from New York, and she and a couple of others also were kind of, I guess, part co-hosts as well with the soul and light language. And I was attuned to that like maybe 6 months, but I was very shy. My ego kept getting in the way, but because of that whole weekend and Dina opening up the artistic part of myself as well, and then just allow those others, allowing myself to just be in soul and light language, it made a huge difference in how I see my clients, how I treat them, because I used to be a nurse. That was my past life. I call it my past life. So I'm a retired trauma critical care nurse, and now I've gone full blown holistic healer. And so I kind of mix, you can think of the science and the spirituality together. And this whole membership came to be because when I became a mom 6 years ago, I just realized how much women together, especially moms too, we just need each other. We really need each other. And because of the last 3 years, we need each other even more, whether if it's in person and virtually, and, preferably a little bit of both, because they each carry its own frequencies, its own energies. And online is just convenient. It tends to be more affordable depending on, the structure of the membership or the business itself. And so this whole collaborative idea with everyone's different abilities just seemed from the heart, because I've seen and I've felt being an entrepreneur by myself, it can be a very lonely and frustrating road. But when you do it with a team who you trust and who you end up loving too, you just say, let's just try this out. Let's just unfold. And when you think about the divine feminine energy, this is what it's all about: trusting, dropping all the toxic feminine energies, and really become a circle again of women, no matter where you come from. And so thanks to Dina, I'll let her speak, for connecting with how this has unfolded very quickly.
Thank you. Yeah, this is so where to begin on that? Connecting is a big part of my mission, and that I don't even know where to start here, but that intuitive art has been a gateway for the light language. So it's funny because when I originally was starting to connect with light language, it was through movement, and I had just started to set the intention of creating art with healing intentions, with energetic components, and it was just like this idea of how to use art in a way that was healing and that I could then teach it to others. And I really didn't know what that was going to look like. But as soon as I started making that intention, because I was working through some self-love, I was learning how to love myself. I was starting to work with a coach that did speak light language, that actually spoke the Pleiadian dialect. She was bringing light language to us through this coaching program. So that was my first exposure, and somehow the light codes started to come through in the art and my movement, and then and so I've been ever since working with the art, the movement, teaching intuitive art classes, and offering light language, soul language activations as part of my, offerings, and combining it all. And in the process of that, I wanted to go travel with it, and I want to go to Virginia. And I was just originally going to just do an intuitive art class. And then Tabitha and I talked to her, and I was like, why don't we make it a whole weekend? Why don't we make it a retreat? And why don't we make it bigger than intuitive art class? And so I feel that my desire to connect people, when I meet different people, I'll be like, oh, you got to meet this one, and you got to meet this one, and you got to meet this one. It's just something that I love to do, and I feel called to do. So that just kind of organically mixed in as part of this adventure. And also I want to mention that after the weekend, I stayed in touch with Jen, and she started offering an apprenticeship. And because I really felt like I could use some more support in growing confidence in my gifts, and really tweaking them and fine-tuning them, and having more support around it. So I decided to invest in that apprenticeship, and as part of my growth, I felt like this naturally unfolded. I had a desire for ceremonial work, and I was already doing the ceremonial work with the dragon group, in the dragon group that I co-facilitate, called Bringing the Dragons Home. And so it just all seems to just flow. And then where do we go from here? And then I had already met Araya in the beginning of my light language journey, right in the beginning. And then of course, Lily, I met you, and then I met Rochelle. Just like, and I met Crystal along the way. So it's just like gathering the tribe, and so being someone that, like, I experienced part of it of being alone and being like, oh, am I crazy? Or not. So I really wanted to bring this, when we started to talk about doing this, as throughout the apprenticeship calls, I was like, yes, let's do it. Let's do this. So, and here we are.
Thank you, Dina and Jen. And actually, before we move to Rochelle, could you just tell us more about what it is that you do? Like, what kind of services do you offer? Yeah.
Me. So where my journey started was more than 10 years ago as a Reiki master. So that's where my awakening really truly happened, where I started seeing more color, getting more knowing, and really working with my hands, with energy, and at the same time on a physical level as a nursing student, because that's when it feels like so long ago, literally like another life. So I was mixing both of the science and spirituality, something that I did not plan for. Isn't that usually like when the best stuff happens, when you just kind of be surprised by the universe when they offer you opportunities? And so pretty much Reiki Master has been my baseline for more than a decade. And then when I started my mother journey more than 6 years ago, I you can say that a literal deer came to me in a really bad moment, mothering moment, and we looked at each other, and I just knew that same day that I needed to go to this another, like a holistic expo, and that's where I met a local shaman woman. So I do shamanism as well, and plus Reiki and the light language, and so the whole journey of shamanic journeying is really important, which is what I try to describe to people is like a guided meditation, so people can kind of connect to that. And so, and also sound therapy with soul and light language. So the meshes of all of those main modalities that I use bring a lot of power to the apprentice program that I have been developing. And this apprentice program, I've always planned like a year ago for it to become this exact school, because I wanted the idea of what will women want out of this. It's not about me. It's about the community and how we can empower each other. You know, that's one of the big missions of this school is intuitive development, bringing back your light in your own way. What modalities, what kind of facilitators do you vibe with that you want to follow and learn from? And this is a great way to do it on a collective level. And so when that came to be, that's just how when you allow the modalities to come through you, that's just, I just love it. And you get to meet the people that vibe with you the most. So that's what I do. That's how it all kind of unfolded. And so thanks to Dina for co-founding the Sacred Circle, which is the live portion of this school. And we can talk a little bit more in detail about that later, but that's the difference. So Divine Feminine Circle is the actual collective school or the conscious collaboration. And then Sacred Circle is the live part where we do ceremony.
Thank you, Jen. How
You're
about you,
welcome.
Dina? You're muted.
Yeah. So I offer Akashic record reading journeys that are like a guided meditation offering with light language, soul language, and I weave in also intuitive art sessions as well and inner child work. So I have a lot of different offerings that also include dragon, light language, activations, and bringing people together to practice intuitive art. So I'm going back and forth between individual sessions and also offering sacred ceremony experiences through that are one-on-one, that are with the intuitive art, and the Akashic record readings that are more like a journey, and that I have different tiers for, and also higher self paintings. I do custom art. I sell art that has light codes, and actually one of the offerings is with you, Lily, the higher self painting. And so I have different offerings that are with and without art, but a lot of my core offerings include both, especially the higher self paintings or the Akashic record sessions that also include a painting that have codes from the session. And I do also dragon channeling activations with practice. And so I have a bunch of different offerings that are in my my link tree. And also now I am a author. And so that's in my link tree as well, thanks to with Rochelle, which got me going on that journey. And so yeah, so that's pretty much the gist of my offerings. I mean, I am a certified, I got the same certification that you did with Deborah Clark with the light language certification. And then I have Reiki. I have Dragon Reiki, Celtic Dragon Reiki, Empowerment Reiki, and I basically weave that all together as needed in an individual session. So That pretty much sums it up.
Thank you, Dina. What about you, Rochelle?
What would you like to know? What what question would you want me to
Oh,
answer?
okay, yes, yeah. So could you maybe tell us, because with both Dina and Rochelle, they've both have come on to my episodes before. So if you haven't seen that yet, I will definitely include that in the show notes later on. And but if you can just kind of go over again, how did you come about Soul Language, Light Language, and then maybe let us know what it is that you do and some services. What services do you provide?
Okay, sure, absolutely. So I actually first was introduced to light language back in 2018. I collaborated with Selena Moon, who is here in Canada, and she is an incredible spirit. And she used to doodle all the time, and I always wondered what she was doing, and she was scribbling light language. And so I started to delve a little bit into it, and then COVID happened. And I connected with a beautiful soul by the name of Jamie Price. I had her come on my podcast. We had many conversations back and forth, and I was very eager to go to Sedona to be activated. But unfortunately, because of COVID, I wasn't able to get out there. So I read her book and started to kind of really delve into it. And I remember a couple of times, and I shared this with Dina, I woke up in the middle of the night with my hands doing all these different signs. So I knew that there was something in light language that I needed to dive into. I also, in 2022, I ended up meeting Deborah Clark and was activated. And that's where I really realized that that was where I needed to be. So it was a little bit of a journey for me, kind of tapping off in different areas with different people. But I love the process because I got to really understand how vast soul language and light language is. So I hope that answers your question. And just for everybody to know, to introduce myself, my name is Rochelle Harlington. I am the founder of Roots for Success. I empower people to recognize, to recode, to rewrite, all the stories that they have within themselves, and through modalities that I have, which are the emotional code subconscious release technique, numerology, as well as a few other different things, chakra alignments. I'm able to really support people and empower people to move past things that no longer serve them. I also have my own podcast, the Transformational Soul Talks, and a TV producer as well. You can find it on the Zonder Network. So if you want to connect with me, you can definitely go to rochelleharlington.ca. I have some offerings there. You can connect on the first page. I'm always open to a discovery call, so you can connect and book some time with me there. So yeah, very blessed to be here and honored to be among these beautiful ladies.
Thank you, Rochelle. Hey, Araya.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Araya, and I am the owner of the Stellar Gateway. And I stumbled onto I believe at least the idea of light language back in 2018 too. And that's kind of when I was like a year into my healing journey, and I was getting a lot of like interaction with all kinds of spirits, and I was finding myself going out and skipping around the store and stuff, going oh, oh, oh. And there were all these other things coming through, and one of them was this language, like, and then someone told me that was reptilian, and it turned out I was getting attacks and from those types of beings. And so I was like, let me step back a little bit. I kind of got back into it now that, like, I was going through a big trial at that point, like learning spiritual hygiene and everything. And I've been able to perfect that and get rid of some of the old contracts that were there. And it was a really interesting experience. And now one of the things my partner and I do together, and we do it very well, is entity removal. And so nowadays I don't really do light language professionally yet. My throat chakra was the last to like heal itself. And I always kind of just hold myself back. There are times even when I'm alone, I'll start to hold myself back a little bit, but I'm actually going to be working with Dina a little bit to open that up and really allow it to flow. The way it works best nowadays is when I go out into the woods. I have 40 acres in Arkansas, and I just skip around the forest and do some vocal toning, and I'll actually, whatever's coming through, I'll put it in like a melody so it sounds like it's singing, and I have fun with that. One time I was doing it, I was hitting my drum, and literally, as like for the time I was in the flow, there were lights coming out of my drum, little blue lights. But then I got caught up on, or I was running around the pond, and there was a tree in the way, and once I was like, wait, I can't move anymore, the light stopped. And as far as what I do, I am an embodiment and integrative health coach. So I'm able to guide on 2 levels, mostly right now on spiritual. I do have a background in nutrition and holistic health. I'm currently working on getting my Ayurvedic practitioner certification. You know, throughout my journey, I've gotten Reiki certification. I've been initiated as a shaman with Moon Key. I've done different hypnotherapy classes, archangelic light, aromatherapy, crystal healing, angel layings, just a whole bunch of stuff. And at this point, I'm working on getting my doctoral in metaphysical studies. So I tie like my knowledge base for energy healing with I'm an advanced seer, and I have, I consider myself a conduit for celestial energy. So I'll mix transmissions with actual CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, that is, and which is basically like guidance, helping you get to, you know, the thoughts and the patterns behind what you're doing and stuff, as well as metaphysical mind techniques. And I kind of work it all together as needed in my coaching. And then aside from the coaching, that's more of a package deal with the mentorship. And people that would find themselves most aligned with me are those that have been on the path for some time, but are ready to kind of step it up into less of a seeker and more of like an embodied state, you know, somebody that maybe wants to really be on the path to mastery of some sort. And as far as one-offs, I offer, I call them right now clarity sessions. And it's basically where whatever issue you're going through, whatever you're confused about or conflicted about, or whatever you want more insight on, we just sit there and talk about it. And there will be a point where I go into some kind of channeling, but there'll also be a point where we're kind of talking and I'm guiding them through what's really, you know, this way they know how to do these things themselves, because I'm all about like empowered healing. I like to give tools. In fact, kind of what I'm known for is giving people like videos and worksheets and stuff. This way they can follow up with themselves and do their own healing. And so to guide them from a place of empowerment is really important to me. And honestly, for somebody that's like, here, do this for me, I don't really know what to do with that. I'm like, that's not aligned with my integrity. So that's what I do right now in a nutshell. And I'm really excited to be a part of this group, because one of the things that's been coming up the past couple of years is the need for a strong sisterhood, you know. Now the masculines need, it looks like at times, even more help, but I know that's not my place. And I feel like if we bond together as a collective and really transcend these sisterhood wounds, and you know, it's going to take a select few people to be brave enough and vulnerable enough to really, you know, be out there like that. But, you know, those of us who are available to and willing to, it's really going to make some waves throughout the whole collective, I think. And that's why I'm excited to be part of this group.
Thank you so much, Araya. And I think most people should know me, but just in case you don't, I am I'm all about light language. So I'm a light language and quantum healer. And what my major focus, everything that I actually do is aligned to my soul purposes or current soul purposes. And that is to raise the vibration of humanity and to awaken, as well as to heal the collective. So currently, what I like to do, what I like to focus on is actually to empower and people, anyone that is interested in activating their innate / psychic powers, as well as healing abilities, to actually heal themselves and others, so that together we can heal the collective faster. And so I do have a 6-month transformational mentorship program available. And of course, I also do have one-on-ones. And if you want to get your light language activated or one-on-one healing, I can definitely help you with that. But I'm definitely really focused on empowering you to become the healer within you so that you can heal yourself and you can heal others as well. So, and definitely I'm just like all of us here, I'm really excited and honored to be invited to this, to be a facilitator. And I'm really looking forward to all the meeting everyone as you come in as part of the members. And I'm so excited to be able to grow and witness your growth. So if Jen, you can tell us a bit more about the membership and as well as even the mystery school, that will be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So going back to your original question, what do I do? This is what I primarily focus on. It was originally stress and anxiety reduction, because as a nurse, I found that that was the core to a lot of people's sickness, right? And so this transferred into the school where I wanted not to focus on myself, because that's what the apprentice program was for the last year, and it will continue until next spring, but the primary focus was community and collaboration. And so before I go into a little bit more of the membership tiers, I want to touch base, because, you don't know fully if you're going to be aligned with this unless you don't know like the mission and the vision, right? And so the vision that I had in mind was to create a sanctuary of wisdom and enlightenment, where seekers from all walks of life can embark on a transformative journey of self-discovery, mystical exploration, and spiritual growth. And so we envision a community bound by a shared quest for knowledge, unity, and harmony with the mysteries of the universe, because it's boundless, right? There's a lot of things to unfold. There's a lot of things to remember within us. And the mission together as a group, as we grow together, is to explore those mystical teachings, harmonize our holistic bodies, because I'm really big into that. And that includes, at least your physical, your mental, your emotional, and of course, to me, what I have found through my one-on-one sessions, your spiritual body as well. And so we also want to nurture that growth, that spiritual growth, the personal growth, foster the community and the collaboration among the facilitators, of course, and also the members, and also promote that universal wisdom that we all carry within us. There's a lot of information we carry. You don't know that until you start exploring. And so when it comes to the actual membership itself, you think of it as split off into 2 different ways. So we have what's called an open membership and a closed membership. And so again, part of the mission and the vision is, so I want it to be affordable as many walks of life as possible. Give people a chance to get a taste of what this is, and to also understand who the facilitators are. And so the open membership, meaning that it's always going to be open and it's never going to be closed. So you always have an opportunity to jump in to what I would call like the entrance to the school, the Divine Feminine Circle. And so where that starts is on our Patreon page. And so we have the founding membership and the gathering membership. The founding membership on Patreon, which is again open, it will always be open and the prices will never change. So you can rely on that consistency, right? And you can make that decision if you want to join now or later. And so the founding is $4.44 a month. And you can, of course, you can go to our page at patreon.com and look us up at Divine Feminine Circle. That's exactly how we are, our handle. So you can, again, review this. And what you get is access to our community. We will start the weekly and tarot oracle card readings, and that's me. That I'm in charge of the Patreon page. And then what I call mini series, so bite-sized mystical teachings. You get access to this in part of the third tier as well. And I'll explain that in just a second. So if you think about, if you're really starting off on your awakening journey, and you're just kind of curious, you just want to dip your toe, this is a great way to start. And it's affordable. If you want to step it up and get to know more of the facilitators and what it's like to be in our own different styles of virtual ceremony, keep in mind a lot of these facilitators, of course, do in-person ceremonies and workshops. So keep that in mind. So, but the gathering is only just $8.88 a month. So that includes the previous tier that I just mentioned, and then direct link to the gathering of the live events, which include healings. A lot of times we as individuals, we channel those mystical or divine galactic messages that are important at the time. And some of that content is just evergreen as well. The wisdom that comes from within, right? Or from above or beyond. And so teachings and empowerment is super important. You also get digital journals as well. So if you like the idea of reflection, which is an important part of your spiritual growth, that goes along with it. Whereas if you weren't a member and you're just following for free, those are just charged. So we try to have different ways to support Circle so we can stay sustainable as long as possible. And then the final third tier includes the previous two tiers. This is the one where it's what we call closed membership, meaning it's only accessible a couple times a year for a couple of weeks. So the difference between the two previous tiers and the initiating tier, which is the third one, it's $22.22, is that you have access to all of that information plus the digital courses that are being rolled out next month. So that's the big difference. You get a lot more content, you get a lot more exposure to the lives, you get everything included with what I just mentioned, and it all rolls into our learning platform. And so we've been developing this on learnworlds.com. It's a great platform to use and to store all of that juicy content. And every live is going to be recorded because we recognize that, you know, we all have lives, right? As much as sometimes you just want to dive in and just go in the mountains or in the woods and just unplug, really being able to have the convenience of reaching this content, reaching individuals at your own convenience is super important at an affordable rate. So again, really listen to your heart. We mentioned the vision and the mission, and, you know, as much as we possibly can to keep this as affordable and approachable. So hopefully this is something that you're interested in. Again, you still have a choice. It's open membership versus closed. I have been, we were originally going to close the initiating membership later on tonight, but I have decided to keep it open for a couple more days so people can really not feel pressured to purchase this. We're going to also do a trial starting tomorrow. So if you really want to get inside, get access to the school, the really big membership, then you'll be able to do that starting tomorrow morning and for a couple of days. And then we will close the initiating membership and open that back up next year, sometime in January. So hopefully that explains as much as I can, the membership. And of course, reach us at any point. If you have any questions, please, our email right now is divinefeminine.circle-membership@gmail.com.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Jen.
You're welcome.
Yes, and yeah, so if this is something that you've always wanted to do, and please do have a look and check it out. Again, the investment is very, very minimal. You can definitely just try it even for 1 month. and then go from there and decide. And again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And thank you all, the facilitators, and for being here. And I'm really excited and looking forward to where this will take us. Yeah. So thank you and bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.